So on Facebook, I came across this from an individual called David Wolf, and he shared, your smartwatch is slow cooking you, one notification at a time. You wouldn't tape a mini cell tower to your wrist, right? Question mark. Well, that's exactly what you're doing as you beam 24/7 radiation into your bloodstream. Now, there's many people that would not believe that, and you keep an open mind. My point I would say to people is you should look into a guy. I remember it. In fact, it was years before you had these things called smartwatches. And there was a protocol done by an individual called Dr. Robert Beck. Now, you could type that in, vids, whatever. And one aspect was this thing called wrist pulsing. Now, sending a particular frequency into the wrist, knowing that the blood pumps around the body at X amount of whatever per blah, blah, blah. And this was apparently to energize the blood. But the downside was that you had to avoid so many different things, because by doing what you saw there, it actually exposed you to more toxins if you didn't avoid them, which I thought was, well, bloody stupid. This was certain clients of mine in the late noughties, and on their behalf, I believe me, I even bought one myself, because I had a lot of respect for certain clients. Well, many, but I had to get back to them with, well, no, that was money well wasted, I thought. And of course, this thing called colloidal silver. Now, apparently there is some applications of that topically on the skin, of which is really beneficial. But what these people were doing was saying, hey, drink lots of it internally. And you can see, honestly, it's been a long time, but from memory, if you typed in colloidal silver, man turns into looking like a Smurf or whatever, and literally this guy did look like a Smurf because he drank that much colloidal silver, his skin color changed. No jokes. Anyway, when I looked at that, the first thing I thought of was Robert Beck, yeah. And, well, apparently some frequencies are, forces for good, others, well, not so. But I certainly would not have something strapped to my bloody body, which is irradiating your blood 24/7 as your heart circulates your lifeblood. Yeah, it's not smart, but there's a lot of people in denial. I'll leave you a link to it. I'll leave you a link to it, and I'll maybe drop this vid into that said link. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend either Bob Beck's method or having that strapped to your wrist either. Be assured that makes no sense to anybody with an ounce of common sense. Seriously. And I'll speak to you soon.